Ladies and gentlemen, Gassy Jack Gear Reviews. Coming back, I have a bit of a comparison video for you today. Just going to be a shorter one. Some people are going to say, thank God you run your mouth sometimes, Gassy Jack. I know, I get off topic. I'm just going to change that order for 1 second, and I'm going to tell you why. On the left-hand side, I'm just going to introduce them. We have the Datejust 41 on the left. In the center, we have the Submariner No Date, and on the right, we have the Explorer1. In size, I've put them in order there from left to right because the Datejust 41 case diameter is 41 millimeters, the Submariner is 40, and the Explorer 1 is 39. I have the Explorer on a leather strap, and some people are going to say that's heresy, put it on a leather strap. But I was on Watch Gecko, and I watched some of their videos, and I really like what they do, and they have some good product there for decent prices. And so I was actually looking for a brown leather strap, or I shouldn't say that. I was looking for a leather strap for this one, and I found this brown leather strap, and I really liked it. So I thought I'm gonna buy that, and I thought, well, you know what? I'm gonna get the black one too, rather than reorder. I'm just gonna get them at the same time. So I ordered the black one. I put them both on the Speedmaster, and I thought, you know what? I really like that brown on the Speedmaster. So I thought, well, I'm just gonna throw it on the black one on the Explorer and see what that looks like. Because I was looking at rubber bees for maybe in the summertime for this, but they're very expensive. And I thought, well, for I think it was 40 pounds or 40 pounds they charged for this, something like that, around that price range anyway. And I thought, well, for the winter and fall, a leather strap is really nice. So I put it on, and I was like, you know what? I really like that. I'm just going to throw this on wrist for a second. Might not do that with, might do it with all of them. Should probably do it with all of them. Okay. Bear with me 1 second. And here we go. Okay. So here it is on my 6 3/4 to 6 7/8 inch wrist. Above that nub there, you guys can see I have that bump. I always put it behind that nub. So, you know what? Fantastic watch. I think it looks really good with this. The only problem is that you can see there, it rubs a little bit there, but I don't really care that much. But it is a problem with, I've heard people say leather straps can be a problem with Rolex in that regard, because the spring bar sits kind of close to the dial, and you don't get that clearance you quite need. But anyway, I still like it. The one on the left, the Datejust. When I bought that, I wasn't quite sure if I was going to get that one in the Explorer first. I had the Sub already, and I bought that, and I absolutely wanted that in the silver dial, because the silver dial, in my opinion, is the most classic for the Datejust. And you might say, yeah, but the dial is one thing, but the bezel and the bracelet are another thing. I did go for the fluted. Sorry, I went for the smooth bezel, not the fluted bezel, and I went for the Oyster bracelet versus the Jubilee, because I didn't want something so flashy, because I'm not a flashy guy. I'm not going to be able to pull it off. But I did really like the Datejust. It's got that Cyclops. Some people love it. Some people hate it. But it does its job very well. It's got a beautiful dial. I forget how many steps this dial takes. It's quite a bit to actually make that dial. I don't know if people kind of appreciate what actually goes into a dial. I've shown another video. The black on the Submariner is actually quite a bit more inky black, dark black and inky. There, I think that picks up. You can see that. Take a look at the Datejust next to it. You can kind of see it's a little more on the flat. It's not. I shouldn't say it's on the flat side compared to the Submariner. It looks like it's more on the flat side. I hope. Take a look at that one. And take a look at that one. The Sub is so much more crisp black. If I had to say, if you were to say, yeah, I really like all of these watches, and the reason I'm showing them all together is because these are probably the most 3 common watches that people buy from Rolex, I would say. The Datejust probably, I think, by far the most, I think. I think they sell tons of variations of the Datejust. The sub, some people like the date sub. A buddy of mine has the date sub. I have the no date sub. I like the purest sort of aspect of that. However, I did go for the larger case than the original. You can see those beefy lugs. I forget what they call that. I think it's the dial even has larger indices than the previous models. I think they call it the maxi dial or the maxi case. So the maxi dial or maxi case, and they have a different term for the opposite. So if it's maxi dial, it's another type of case, and vice versa. Great watch though. Wow. You know what? Every time I go back, and I put these things in rotation, but every time I get back to the Submariner, I'm like, wow, you know what? There's a reason that is such a popular, sought after watch. You know it. I mean, when you put it on, you're wearing something special. And I can't explain it because I only get that feeling with the Submariner. I don't get it to the degree with the other two watches. You feel their quality, but there's something about that sub that's so special. Now, that being said, is it the best go-to watch, or if you're only going to get one watch, is it the best of these three? That's so subjective, but I'll give you my take. I think that there's an argument for the Datejust 41 being the best everyday or the best one watch on this table. And the reason I say that is because, one, it has the Cyclops, but some people could argue, well, you could get that sub with the Cyclops. True. Okay, so let's take the Cyclops out of there. It can be a dressy piece or a sporty piece. It really can. Even honestly, if you say a dress watch should have a proper leather strap rather than a bracelet. I think a lot of people would agree with that. But you could put that on a nice strap. Even if you didn't, you could still pull it off. Sport casual, sporting event. It really does pretty much everything. The Submariner, in my opinion, doesn't do everything, but I know that some people wear it with suits and things like that. And it's kind of like, it's cool to do that. But it's not a dress watch. But that being said, it's one of those watches that gets away with it. And no one's going to question you. No one's going to say, what are you wearing a sports watch with a suit jacket? If it's a Submariner, it's beyond excusable. People are actually like, oh, cool, nice choice. So there are arguments for the Submariner. I'm going to pop over to the right-hand side there and say the Explorer1. Now, the Explorer1, I have it on a leather strap right now. That's fine for me. Some people absolutely hate that, but it's my watch. I do have the metal bracelet, but I put it on a leather strap because I just wanted to try this out, and it's by Watch Gecko. No affiliation to me, but like I said, really like this strap on this watch. The only problem with the strap on this watch, and I've heard this about Rolexes, it's much better if you can get a curved end leather strap, because when you see here, you can see it's a bit worn there, a bit worn over here, and that's through very little use. So, I mean, you could always re-dye it and stuff like that. It's not a big deal, but it does rub. So you are better off if you can find a really nice one with a curved end. So to avoid that rubbing, it is better. But this watch has a real strong argument as the best one watch of the table if you were only going to buy one of these watches, because it does so much and it does it effortlessly. It's a great outdoor watch. It's 100 meters, true 100 meters water resistance, as is the Datejust. The Submariner, right here you can see is 300 meter water resistance, so 3 times the water resistance of these two watches. But these two watches, I think, on the table are the best of the do everything category. But many will argue that this is still the king. And there's a lot of points that you can make to prove that point. But for me, at the end of the day, I bought the sub first. So that should tell you something. I thought I was going to get the Explorer first, and I just couldn't resist the sub. I couldn't resist it. And I got my dealer treats me well and I treat them well. It came in less than a week, if you can believe it or not. You can watch the full video on that one. But there's arguments for any of these watches to be the one watch. If you buy one watch on this table, all three have solid arguments. If you disagree with anything I said, if you agree with anything that I said, if you have any questions or comments, post them in the comment section, and we can get a little discussion going. But I hope you enjoyed this comparison. This has been a Gassy Jack gear review, and we will see you all soon.